Right, okay guys, so you might realise I'm in a slightly different place on this video. Yeah, I'm actually recording this from my gym. Reason for that is because I wanted to do this video and get it out of the way, but it's half term and I've got basically a flat full of people. So the only way to really do this was to come down to my shed and do it here, and now I've got these like wireless mics, it's actually possible for me to do this. So yeah, I've brought my tripod down and I've got my mic and brought all the bits I need to show down here. It just makes sense to do it this way. So anyway, make sure you hang on till the end, guys, because there is something pretty special that I want to show you at the end. I think it kind of deserves to be at the end and shown last. So uncharacteristically of me, we're going to show games at the end, not at the start. So let's run through some films first that I've picked up on Blu-ray, etc. So first off, The Founder. Picked this up off of Amazon. I forget what price. I'll put the price down below. It was cheap. Don't know if you've seen this film. It's a good film. Michael Keaton, as you can see there, and a few other familiar faces. But it's basically all about how he got hold of McDonald's. And actually, it doesn't paint the guy that he's playing in a very good light at all. Actually, what he does is quite despicable. Now, some of this probably is dramatised to make it more interesting, admittedly, but you know, you can't help but sit there and think how much of this is actually true though. Either way, it's a very entertaining film. It's a good watch. So if you've not watched The Founder, it's definitely worth checking out. It's quite a good film. Then we've got a particular special of mine, and that is Man on Fire. Now, I've got this on DVD, did not have it on Blu-ray. Ignore the sticker here because this didn't come from a charity shop. I actually got this off Music Magpie. I forget how much I paid for it now. It's a few quid anyway. Again, I'll put the price down below. But yeah, I picked this up because, yeah, I wanted it on Blu-ray. It's a great film and it's one that I intend on keeping. So I upgraded it to Blu-ray. If you've not seen it, it's a very good film. And in fact, I would say it's probably one of the reasons he ended up getting the Equalizer role, because he's a very similar character he plays in that. If you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. American Maids. Now this one, I can't remember the exact price, but it was definitely under £4, and that was from Amazon again. Good film. I've got it digitally, do not have it physically, and so I wanted to pick it up. And so, you know, I'm a big fan of this. I do like this film. I don't know if you've watched this one, again, based on true stories. And yeah, you know, it's a very interesting tale of what happened. Again, probably slightly dramatised, but there is probably a big element of truth in this as well. And when you watch it, I mean, you can really see how messed up the 80s were, and what was going on there with the CIA, etc. But yeah, very good film. Good film. Now this one, I imagine most people have seen. If you haven't seen this one, you would have seen at least one of them in the series, and that's Taken 3. Now, a lot of people will probably saying, why you got Taken 3? It's the worst one. In my opinion, it isn't. And this is the extended cut, so it is the better version. I actually think Taken 2 is the worst one, the weakest one out of them. I do have the other two on Blu-ray. I didn't have this one. I only had this digitally. So again, I've got it physical. Why do I think this one's better? Well, first one, you know, he takes out the people that have taken his daughter and are doing this like trafficking ring. And then in the second one, he's up against their parents. So he's up against the decrepits, basically, you might as well say. So it's not really a very threatening film. You know really that Liam Neeson's always going to win, right? But then you get to this one, and this one's very different because, yes, it's Taken, but in a very different way. And, of course, he's alongside Forest Whitaker, which, in my opinion, only makes films better because Forest Whitaker is a great actor. And this is no exception. It's a very good film. So if you've not seen Taken 3, give it a watch. Like, if you've seen Taken 2 and you thought, oh, that weren't so good, but you haven't seen this one, give this one a chance. It might surprise you. I actually think this is better than the second one. So, really, I think this should have been the sequel. But, you know, good film nonetheless. Now, this one, you can find this, but I wouldn't say you find it everywhere, and that is Swordfish. I do like this film. I've got it on DVD. I would say it's not aged very well. After watching this recently, actually, this film does slightly show its age. However, it's still a film I really enjoy, and so I picked it up. This was £4 from Music Magpie, which I thought was quite good. Other places I'd seen it was going for a lot more money. So, yeah, £4 was a good price, I think. Like I say, not impossible to find, but not a film you see everywhere either. So, yeah, good film. Now, this one, in fact, these two, both charity shop finds. Shaun of the Dead for £1. Yeah, I play that all day. My boy is a big fan of the Cornetto trilogy. However, I never let him watch this one when he was a kid because I think he was too young for the zombies one. He watched the other two, but not this one. So now, seeing this, it was like, oh, jogged my memory. Let's pick it up. Connor's now 15. He's old enough to watch this now. Now we can give this a watch. So yeah, Shaun of the Dead. And that was £1. Classic Edward Scissorhands. You know, I do like Tim Burton. He does some good stuff with Johnny Depp. And yeah, again, charity shop fine for £1. You know, would I have gone out of my way to buy this? Or would I have paid silly money for it? No. But you see it for £1 and it's there. Why not? Let's just get it. So I did. And then this one kind of will lead into something else I've picked up this month. Wrath of Khan. Yes, that's the 4K edition. And yes, it has got the director's cut. Now, I do have the director's cut on DVD. I did want to upgrade it. However, I didn't want to get it on Blu-ray. I wanted to wait and get it on 4K. Because let's be honest, when it's an effect-laden film and it's space, it would look better in 4K. And so I picked it up. Now, this was $17.99 on Amazon. It is the one that comes with the Blu-ray too. However, I didn't pick it up because it comes with a Blu-ray too. I picked up something else this month which enables me to watch this, but we'll get into that in a minute. Of course, I picked that up, but then I saw this, and this was going for a tenner in CEX. So I picked this one up too. You know, let's be honest, I think when you look at all the Star Trek films, Wrath of Khan is easily the best, and I'd say First Contact's got to be in the top 3, surely. So, you know, it's a really good film. And looks really good in 4K, I should add. Like both these films do, they look stunning. So, of course, you're probably thinking, well, how have you watched them in 4K then, Lee? Because you haven't got a 4K player. Well, actually, now I have. So, somebody was selling a Xbox One S. I think it was for around £60, just the console. It had been refurbished. And if you know anything about the Xbox One, you will also know that it plays 4K. Not the first versions, I should add. It's only the S and the X, if I remember right, that play them. And so I picked it up. Now, why did I pick this up, you might think? Like, well, if you look at the price of 4K players these days, they were about, what, £140, £150 to buy one of them. Same if you're going to buy an external drive for a PC. So really, it's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it? If you see a console that does the same thing for £60, it's kind of worth getting, right? And we have already technically got one because Connor's got what was both of ours in his room. I don't get a look in. This is why I've got my own one. But like we had all the controllers and the leads and that already. So it just made sense to just pick another one up, right? Now, as I'm saying this, you've probably seen a bit of footage. I had a conversation with a couple of lads and we was having a laugh about, basically, this is the joys of living in a flat, right? So I've got my PS4 sitting on the unit under the TV, but it's running on the telly on my desk. And then I've got my Xbox One, which is hooked up to the main TV, which is across the other side, sitting on my desk. So they're running opposite directions to what they're playing on, right? Why is that? Well, the unit I've got is a 12 by 12, like each block in it or each square, cube, whatever you want to call it. It's 12 by 12. Well, the Xbox One S is bigger than that and it wouldn't fit in there. So, but the PS4 would. So as a result, I've had to switch them over and then run the leads going the opposite direction. So yeah, bit mental, bit to get your head round. Took me a while to figure out how I was going to do this. And when I looked at it, it was like, well, this is the only way. So that's what I've done. So yeah, like I say, you've probably seen a bit of footage because I actually recorded it and showed a few of my mates and I was saying to them, this is what you have to do when you're in a flat and you've got limited space. So yeah, so basically I've got a 4K player which enables me to watch these, and these are really good and I've really enjoyed them. If you have got the ability to watch 4K and you are into Star Trek, pick these up, guys, because they look stunning. They really do look good. Right, okay, now I'm going to quickly cut it here with the magic of editing because I've got to grab some other bits that I want to show and I've got limited room. I'm basically putting everything behind me on my weightlifting bench, which is not very wide. So yeah, just going to cut here and then show you the next bit. Right, okay, some charity shop finds. So these were all £1 each. I think they're all complete, but we'll check as we go along. So we've got Ridge Racer 2, all there. And as you can tell, they're for the PSP. Should have really added that. Daxter. Again, £1. These were all £1 each. I don't think any of them are more expensive, as I remember. I think that's Wipeout Pure, if I remember right. Stickers right over it. Yeah, Wipeout Pure. Again, all there. These are in very good condition. In fact, when I looked at them, I actually wondered if they'd been played because the cases look so new. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, probably not very good. I'm pretty certain this is a terrible one, but it was kind of in the stack of them, so I just bought it. Then we've got Harry Potter Order of the Phoenix. Again, probably not a game I really am going to play, but it was in there and it was £1 and it was in good condition, so I just grabbed it. Pursuit Force. If you notice, a lot of these are platinums, but again, like I say, look how crisp that manual looks. It just looks new. You know, it's very good condition. I'm sure that these haven't been played. I reckon these were bought and then just kept somewhere. Medieval Resurrection. Bit of a wacky game, this one, if any of you guys know it. Again, like I say, perfect condition. I mean, look. They look like they've just been unwrapped and then just sat there. So that's the PSP games. And then the missus was out the other day and she saw this while she was out shopping. And she brought this back for me. The Sonic the Hedgehog, and I think it's an annual, right? Yearbook, sorry. I mean, it shows how old it is when you see that. Win a mega CD. You know? And I'll just show you a little bit inside it because it's got comic strips and all sorts. Like, you know, you got comic strips. And again, you know, this, although it's old, it's just doesn't look touched, you know, like it's in such good condition. Like, oh, this bit I really liked, like game shots, you know, where you've seen all little shots of games like Kid Chameleon and that, and Echo the Dolphin. And then let me see if I can find, because there was some adverts in there as well, and when I saw them I was like, oh wow, like that really shows, like, you know, bits like this where you got Gaza and Michael Jackson, you know, from history. And then you got like you got what's his name, Andy Crane there as well, and you know, just various other people like Gary Lineker and that, you know, and it just really shows how old this is. Yet you look at it and it's just in perfect condition. It's like it's just sat on a shelf and no one ever bothered it. There's no crease in any of these pages. I just should add that, guys. I don't think you can see that on here, but it's just immaculate. And she got it for silly money. I mean, the only thing that really was wrong with it is that if you notice, the corners are a little bit sort of bent up. But I mean, that's what happens with hardbacks. That's kind of the point of them, right? So, you know, it's like, I don't even know how much she paid for it, but it wasn't a lot. It was like a couple of quid, I think. So, very happy to have this in the collection. Let's just put it that way. Right, going to K again, because I've got a few other bits I've got to grab. As you know, I test consoles for a local charity, and, well, this came up. So, I was asked to test this out. We have the cables, because both my boys had these. In fact, Connor had one exactly the same colour as this. We still have them. And I quickly found out that there was a problem. And it's a common problem with these, and it's the charger port. As you can see there, I believe there's a piece missing out of it. So it doesn't charge. Well, it kind of does if you lean it a certain way, but even then it's temperamental. So basically it needs a new port. And the charity was basically going to dispose of it, because that's what they do when these things don't work. And I said, well, hang on a minute, how much do you want for it the way it is? And they gave me a price, which I'm not going to say because I don't think that's right, really, to be honest. And so I picked it up. And yeah, the whole intention is going to be that I'm going to repair it and maybe do a video. Why not? So it'd be kind of interesting because it's a bit of an amateur thing. I've never done this before. But I thought, yeah, I'm going to see if I can repair it. So yeah, otherwise this would have gone in the bin. So I kind of feel like I've done my bit to save a piece of, I wouldn't say retro, because it's not really retro, is it? But I've saved a bit of gaming history, let's just say. So yeah, so there's that. And then the other thing I picked up was this. Now this kind of semi does work. I paid £2 for this. I've been after a Walkman for a while, and I'll tell you why, because I'll be honest, I long for simpler times, let's just say. And you probably noticed, even through watching my channel, let alone other people's, that well, let's just say that tapes seem to be outliving discs, or at least will do. They certainly are outliving Commodore 64 discs and Amiga discs, and probably will do CDs. And so as a result, I wanted to get hold of something. And I'll tell you why, because I am fed up with buying stuff digitally and then losing it and having to buy again, then losing it, and so on and so on, right? So I started picking up a lot of CDs again. I've, started amassing a physical collection. Not that I got rid of it all anyway, but I've started getting some of them back again. And yeah, I also want to, start looking at maybe recording them CDs onto tape and playing them on this. So I wanted a Walkman, and Walkmans are creeping up a bit now, guys, right? So you're probably thinking, why £2? Because it is an viable one, it's not a cheap one. And as I'm talking, I've just noticed there's a tape in there. That's what they were testing it out on. So, as you might have already suspected, this partially works. The reason it partially works, it's got a radio. So the radio works. So I know what's wrong with the tape part. Let's be honest, we all know if we're watching this, if we've all had tape decks and still have them now, we all know what the dreaded problem is with tape decks. It's the belt, innit? The belt's rotted. And the reason I know this is because you put a set of headphones in, you can hear the sound engage, which means the mechanism's working, it's just not turning. So it's the belt. The belt's rotted. I can get another one for about £6.95, something like that. So it was worth paying the £2 because it means I can repair this. And again, yes, this is an amateur guy who's not done this before, but I have done belts on C64 data sets, so it can't be much different, surely. Either way, what am I going to lose? £2? Wow. Let's give it a shot. I might be able to save a piece of history and it might have ended up in a bin. So let's do this. Why not? So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Right, now, as I promised at the beginning of the video, I said there's going to be some big stuff at the end, yes. And I'm going to leave it right till the very end, because I think you're going to be quite shocked as to what I found in a charity shop. Right, first of all, Sonic Chaos. Now, I'll be honest, this one I've not actually played before. I never really was into the Master System, and none of my friends really was. I mean, I have got a Master System now, but I've got a very tiny collection for it. It's not one I actively seek for, but if I see games for it, I pick them up, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was never one I really had a lot of nostalgia for. Like, my mates, if they didn't have a micro, like they had the NES, or a Mega Drive. So yeah, so as a result, some of these games kind of passed me by. So we've got Sonic Chaos. You can see it's complete there. Manual cartridge is, even the little poster thing that comes in it is in it. Again, this is almost like another one that's not been played, and as you can see, it's in lovely condition. So yeah, I got this for a very reasonable price, which you can see on the back there. So yeah, I picked that up. Then I saw this one as well. As you can see, Outrun, £4. Very good condition once again. Normally these go a bit off colour. These are all lovely white. I mean, I'd say these were probably sitting in a loft somewhere. And look at this manual. I mean, how crisp is that manual? It just goes to show, guys, that this old stuff is still sitting in people's lofts and they've got no idea what they've got. And look at the condition, so good. I was paying £4 all day for this. Then we've got Donald Duck. Now this one I have actually got a cartridge of, the Lucky Diamond Caper. Or Diamond Caper, should I say. I have actually got a cartridge for this, but when you see the full box complete version, a little bit more creased up on the manual there. And I think, oh no, I thought there was some writing on the manual, but look, as you can see, it's all there. And that one again was £4. Again, picking it up all day, right? Right, now this is the one I've made you wait this entire video for. And why is that? Well, I wouldn't say this is like the biggest hitter you've ever seen, but it's got to be one of the biggest hitters on the Master System, surely. Got to be. So, what is that? Well, that is Buggy Run. This one's not an easy game to find, guys. In fact, if you look on CEX, they don't even have this in stock. And it's boxed and complete. This game goes for around, what, $235, $245 complete. I'm not going into how much I paid for this, but I did make them aware that it's worth a bit, and I paid a good price for it. Let's just say that. So we both did okay out of it, if that makes sense. The charity got a good amount of money. I got it for a reasonable price also, so everybody won. So yeah, Yeah, I could have quite easily probably just picked this up and not said a word. But no, I made it quite clear that this was worth a bit. So, yeah. So we have Buggy Run. Yeah, I got to be honest, the minute I saw this, I was like, I've got to get that because I am not going to see this again. And so I did. I picked it up there and then. There was no questions asked on that. That was happening all day. So even if I had to bung it on a credit card, I was getting this because you just don't see it, guys. You really don't. So yeah, I'm really happy that I'm glad I walked in there that day and saw this. So this obviously all coming together, you know. So yeah, anyway, that's the end of today's pickups video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, consider like, sharing, subscribing. And until next time, take care, stay safe. Nerdy Geezer out.